Morning everybody, welcome to another round of Coffee and Questions. What's today's topic? We're going to talk about Harbor Freight files versus the ones you can get off Amazon. Nothing wrong with getting them off Amazon, and I have in the past. Ships Prime, and some maybe some of you don't live near a Harbor Freight store, so there's nothing wrong with the ones off Amazon. You might pay a couple, $2-3 more, whatever the small price difference is, but we're talking about inexpensive files. Now, I'm not talking about the high quality ones that are used in an industrial setting, or some of the Swedish or German made and the higher end files. I don't need anything like that. I'm like a home hobbyist, do home projects, DIY kind of stuff. So what I did is I went out to Harbor Freight. I got a bunch of them here. 2 sets, I think, something like that. And some of these get abused pretty good, but they work for me. And I read through some of the comments and the criticisms about these files. It depends on what you're going to use them for. I use them intermittently. I'm not using them constantly. And there were 2 complaints, pretty good sized ones. One dealt with the fact that, hey, some of them start to get small amounts of rust on them because it's cheap steel. Yeah, you're probably right, but this is a real easy fix. I mean, when you're done using them, like this one I did not. I just shoot them with WD-40 or some kind of a light oil, wipe them with a rag real quick, and I put them back into their holder because I have a holder for them. They tend not to rust. There's one right here that I did do that with. So just a little preventative maintenance. I mean, to me it wasn't a big deal. One of the other complaints on there said the handles are kind of cheap on these and sometimes they come off. Well, out at Harbor Freight you can pick up I think it's for $1, you can pick up CA glue or epoxy, or you might have some at home. I took a little bit of, I think it's JB Weld or some epoxy that I had, mixed it up real quick, put it on the handle, slipped it back on there, and it will never come off now. I mean, so I'm back to the same point like I make in a lot of my videos. Is this something you should have to do? No, but it's not that big of a deal and it would not stop me from buying these. These files are very adequate. I cut a lot of pipe, I cut a lot of angle iron, and sometimes if I don't want to use that 4.5-inch angle grinder with a flap wheel, I have these files real handy, zip, zip, and hey, it's done. And I've had these for a couple of years now. I've got, the one that's like a triangle here. I've got the half round or whatever you want to call, this one with a flat surface. And I've got these others that are totally round. And I think it amounts to, 2 sets of the same files because I used a coupon. So did a buddy of mine, and we bought these files and that's what we use them for. So these are the 12-inch, heavy duty ones. I'll go inside in a little bit, show you the advertisement before we wrap this up. They're nice double cut files. They remove material fairly fast, and they work for me as, like I said, as a home hobbyist. Somebody made the comment that, hey, you can't really use these, it's too coarse for sharpening scissors and knives. No, you can't. What you need then is you need a honing stone or a whetstone. These are not meant for something like that. I don't care if they tell you anywhere that they are, they're really not. So you should invest in one of those. You can find both those on Amazon, honing stones and whetstones. They're not that expensive. They'll do you much better when it comes to sharpening knives and scissors. What do I think of the grips on them? I don't know. They're standard grips. They're okay. I don't mind them. Like I said, they serve their purpose for me perfectly fine. It's a good value, I think, for inexpensive files. For DIY projects and just home hobby stuff. The bottom line for me, because somebody said, well, you're just kind of pumping up the Harbor Freight, file thing. Yeah, I am. I'll tell you why. I don't do enough projects at home, or I'm not in that industrial setting or anything like I told you about where I can justify buying super expensive files. These work perfectly fine. I would buy them again. As a matter of fact, I did. I showed you I have 2 sets. So I have no problem with these. If somebody has a different experience, drop it in the comment below. Otherwise, I'm going to switch over. We'll do the green screen. I'll show you the advertisements, the prices. We'll wrap this up. And don't forget, if you don't live near a Harbor Freight, you can always buy them off Amazon. People will say, well, you have an affiliate with them. Yeah, I make a little bit of money. It feeds the stray animals that hang around my house, the cats that other people have abandoned, like I told you in past videos. So with the little bit of money I make, you feed some strays. Thank you, folks. I'll see you inside. All right, folks, so back inside, and like I said, I've got this up here, the advertisement, the 12-inch heavy-duty file set. So that's the one that I told you that I got 2 of them. $12 less 20%, which is usually the standard, always kind of discount going on all the time. So $9.60. I think they're well worth the money. But what if you don't live near a Harbor Freight, or you find it's too much of a pain to go out there? Is there a good, decent set you could get off of Amazon? But yes, there is. I'll show you. I bought it, but I don't have enough time in using it to give you a really good review on it. But I'll show you what I bought, but it is going to cost you easily more than twice this. So you're going to get 14 pieces of grade T12 drop forged steel. Now, I'm guessing that that's going to be better than just the carbon steel ones that you get out at Harbor Freight. And like I said, you're going to pay more money. So I went ahead and like I said, I bought these. I'll test them out. So far, they seem to be perfectly good files. You get the 4 large ones like it shows you here in the case, and you get the 16 smaller ones. And sometimes I would really like to have the smaller ones. That was the big push why I went ahead and I bought this set, is because I wanted at least a set to some degree that had smaller files for dealing with small, intricate kind of filing and stuff like that on projects, because all I've ever had are the big ones. So that was really, the reason why I wanted to try this set out. And if you look at 4- and 5-star ratings, just those alone, it's got a 90%, maybe a little bit better, customer satisfaction in quality and price. So I do look at those things before I made the purchase, and I'm going to take a shot with them. And I will tell you with this set, some of the complaints that I read were very similar. Some of them, the handles tend to be loose on the file themselves. To me, not a big issue. I'll put a little bit of JB Weld, like I told you, or some epoxy, problem solved. I don't consider that a deterrent to me buying this set. Another complaint was they don't like the case it comes in. They feel it's just a cheaply made case. The case doesn't bother me, okay? These little nitpicky comments, as long as they're good files and they're going to do what I want them to do as a DIYer for intermittent use, I'm fine with it. These are minor issues to me about the handle and the case, not a big deal. I will try them. I'm not using them, like I said, in an industrial setting or on a daily use. Otherwise, you might want to shoot for the super high-end ones. Anyway, that's my thoughts. That's my review on these. This gives you an idea of something else that you can buy if you're not going to be satisfied with, just the Pittsburgh large handled ones. You can buy a set like this, and you'll probably have a complete set for small, intricate things as well as big, broad ones. The 4 files are the same as the Pittsburghs in terms of, I think, size and use. So I don't know. We'll see what happens going forward. I'm the home handyman. If you got a different experience, drop it in the comment below. Let me know what you think. If you got something better out there or there's a better bargain, let us know. I hope you click subscribe. Keep following me. I will see you on the next video. Thank you, folks. Bye-bye.